every story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
Hello everyone, welcome to Core TV Primetime News with Nifemi Oguntoye. In our major stories, federal government wants Nigerians to be more security conscious at football viewing centers ahead kickoff of the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Also in this program, normalcy appears in the horizon as Lagos state government slashes school fees in LASU. And organized labels vow to fight against proposed increase in electricity tariff. Outside Nigeria, jihadists seize Turkish consulate, kidnap head of the diplomatic mission, along with 24 staff in Mosul, Iraq. And now the details. The federal government wants Nigerians to be more security conscious during the one-month-long 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Government officials specifically want football viewing centers to involve security personnel in their localities in order to protect the patrons. This warning is against the backdrop of recent bomb attack on viewing centers in some parts of northern Nigeria.
The federal government, through its agencies, wishes to express its appreciation to concerned Nigerians for making use of the security alert telephone numbers provided to the public for prompt security alert and response. However, we are worried over the level of false information being dished out by some members of the public that are using the telephone numbers to settle personal scores. The government is hereby advising Nigerian citizens once again, particularly football enthusiasts, to be extra vigilant and cautious on their movements or movements of persons and alien or strange objects around their vicinity. This is because the World Cup is due to commence tomorrow, and you know that our countrymen and women love football.
Owners of viewing centers have been advised and are still being advised to go the extra miles of trying to secure the viewing centers. We expect persons who are operating large viewing centers to establish synergies with local security officials within their areas.
Britain and United States of America say they're still committed to help Nigerian government in rescuing the abducted Chibok schoolgirls. British Prime Minister David Cameron made this known while giving a statement in the House of Commons about the G7 meeting in Brussels last week. He says he discussed in his bilateral meeting with President Barack Obama what he believes is the greatest threat to world security and how to counter extremism and the terrorist threat. He added that he and Obama were committed to the efforts to rescue the schoolgirls abducted since April 14 from the government girls' secondary school in Borno State. Delta State Governor Emmanuel Duha has ordered all the military roadblocks in Delta State dismantled immediately. The governor, who spoke at the 2014 Law Week of the Warri branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, says the roadblocks, especially in Warri areas, have outlived their usefulness. He, however, stated that those at strategic locations are to be removed gradually. The governor also called for the institution of true federalism in Nigeria, expressing hope that the National Conference would help entrench the practice of federalism in its true sense. He praised the theme of the celebration, federalism, democracy and leadership in Nigeria, and lamented that the system as currently practiced in Nigeria was an unfair departure from the tenets and principles of the concept of federalism. The governor hails the NBA for constructively drawing attention of government to critical issues devoid of usual sycophancy, describing the trend as a great support to his administration. The Lagos State government says it has approved a slash between 34 and 60% in the tuition fees of the state university, otherwise called LASU. The special advisor to Governor Babatunde Fashola on education, Fatai Olukoga, disclosed these at the media briefing. Abiola Oluwole was there. His report was presented from our studios.
Before now, the upward review in LASU tuition fees in 2011 attracted huge outcry and disapproval from both students and general public. This resulted in a series of widespread protests that paralyzed activity on the campus and its environs. This later compelled government to set up an ad hoc committee to look into the tuition hike and other challenges confronting the university. Reeling out the resolutions of the state government on the issues affecting smooth running of LASU, the special advisor to Fashola on education, Fatai Olukoga, emphasizes that government has approved a downward review of 34 to 60% in the tuition fees of LASU. He, however, says the approval has been forwarded to the School Governing Council for appropriate action.
On this basis of these principles, government agrees that with the subsidized tuition fees and appropriate moderation of incidental fees, a reduction ranging from 34% to 60% is possible across different faculties and courses. 10. Government has therefore approved the reduction, and in accordance with the law setting up the university, forwarded the approval to the University Governing Council for consideration and implementation. Pursuant to its statutory mandate, the University Governing Council will issue details of what is now payable by students in each department and deal with all other management matters of the university.
Parts of the resolution includes the option of a second term for the Vice-Chancellor of the school under the prerogative of the state government.
Government will take the position of a second term for Vice-Chancellor in order to benefit from good leadership whenever the occasion arises. 16. In the same vein, employees cannot unilaterally insist on being appointed or promoted to positions that are not vacant, especially where there are over 200 vacant positions yet to be filled in the same institutions.
Lecturers and LASU students have been on strike and protests over hike in the tuition fees and other problems facing the institution.
Nigeria's Labour Movement is questioning the rationale behind the planned tariff increase by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC. The leadership of workers' unions voiced their opposition to higher electricity tariff at an interactive session with officials of the Electricity Commission. They argued that Nigerians were being exploited regularly by incessant tariffs despite poor electricity supply. They also noted that in spite of the tariff review, as the regulators admitted, the nation had experienced a shortfall in target from the struggling 4,000 megawatts to about 3,000.
Fixed charge. Even these fixed charges, again, they are, for me, is another incentive to these operators. It's just exploitation, because what that means is that, if I understand it, is that once I'm hooked to any listing, I'm supposed to pay certain amounts every month, whether for the 30 days of the month of June. I have not seen any light at all. I will pay some tax.
I'm among the people that said there must be availability of the product for it to be affordable. That we must match accessibility with affordability from the beginning. But we are here now, and then a tariff has been announced, and that will not be the end. The last point I wanted to make is that it is one thing for you to announce tariff increase or adjustment or reduction, and you don't have the capacity to enforce it. That is not what is charged out there, because you don't even have the appropriate metering mechanism. So the people there will use estimation. If you see it's 1 naira per kilowatt hour, they will charge 5 naira by estimation in order to recoup their profit. They will not even mobilize meters to the field because that will not give them the required money. So how do we stay here and say tariff is this amount and then what is charged there is different? So I think in doing this, we have to sit down clearly and harmonize this, and not a question of announcing before telling us. If you announce before telling, you inform us. We are going to challenge it, and we are challenging it until the right.
Chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Sam Amadi, provided explanations to justify the review, but the labor activists who were grossly unsatisfied with the explanations said that the meeting scheduled after the increase was simply an abortion before pregnancy.
First, this is not for you to say, nay, yea, I will go. The kind of feedback they are giving us now is why we are doing the consultation. We want to hear more, not just about the tariff, but also about the process. But I just want to clear two things. The first one is, yes, before we do any tariff change, we do a lot of consultation. What, like Dino will show you, this is what they call automatic adjustment. It's already in the process that this is how it will happen. And how it's provided for law is that we advertise, we go to CBN. Not every of these things, the facts we are taking from proper custody. The CBN and MBS, NEC has no way of knowing the interest rate. We have no way of knowing the exchange value. We go to the proper custodian. So what we did is more like routine work, really. They are just
President Goodluck Jonathan and members of his cabinet have paid tribute to former Information Minister Dora Akinwumi, who died last Saturday in India. The Federal Executive Council was largely devoted to the late Akinwumi, who was praised for resilience and contribution to national development. All the ministers hailed Professor Akinwumi's efforts in checking the influx of fake and substandard drugs into the country during a time at the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. The report was presented from our studios.
Unlike previous cabinet meetings, there was no backstabbing and there were fewer photo opportunities. It was time to mourn, a time to reflect on the contributions of the late Professor Dora Akinwumi. President Jonathan opened the torrent of tribute by describing the ex-information minister as a woman who reflected the country's tradition and delivered on every assignment handed to her.
All of us will know that the first impression of Dora when you meet her anywhere is that she's the way she dresses. She's a typical Nigerian woman. You will not mistake, no mistake about it. She reflects the tradition and the culture of our people.
There's Professor Dora Akinwumi. It's a great loss, not only to her family, but to this country in general. She was a patriotic and dedicated Nigerian. Whatever opportunity is given to her, she makes sure she excels and succeeds in achieving that objective.
Then, one after the other, cabinet members, especially those who worked with her, gave personal insights on what they believe the former minister would be remembered for.
To our sister, to our former colleague, to one of Nigeria's most outstanding public servants, Professor Dora Akinwumi, said that Professor Dora hit the Nigerian public imagination as a thunder in dry season immediately after she was appointed the Director General of NAFDAC. Within a year of her appointment, she became a household word and name around the country.
Remember her sister, Professor Dora Akinwumi. I knew Dora when she was DG of NAFDAC during the second Obasanjo administration. And I got to know her quite well as a woman of passion, a woman of strength, a woman of conviction, who fought really hard to make sure that fake drugs, both those who sold them as well as those who manufactured them, would become as much a thing of the past.
Her dress sense, which reflected national pride, was also singled out for mention.
It's indeed a great loss, not just to her family, but to us and all Nigerians. Mr. President, it does not matter for how long or how far back you know Professor Dora. Once you meet and know each other, it is like you've known her forever.
To me, Dora Akinyuli is a woman blessed with can-do, uncommon can-do spirit. I knew her as DG NAFDAC, and without any fear of contradiction, we can all attest to the fact that she put up a stellar performance as DG, and if I can borrow the phrase of the governor of Akwa Ibom, she put up an uncommon transformation there.
A minute's silence was held in Akunyili's honor, and for many of them, Professor Akunyili's legacies would always give her a place of pride in Nigeria's history. They also are in no doubt that Nigeria would be a better place if more Nigerians imbibe the qualities the former NAFDAC head is being celebrated for.
INEC states readiness for Ekiti governorship election, even as agitation grows over voter cards. Find out details of these and other stories after this time out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana. Please remain seated and ensure your seatbelts are fastened. You can now turn on your MTN mobile phone data to enjoy a browsing rate of 5 kobo per kilobyte with MTN One World. Thank you.
Absolutely. Browse like home with MTN One World. Surfing the web from any MTN operating country costs the same like home. Enjoy affordable rates when you call and send text messages. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN, everywhere you go.
This one wash challenge, you test Ariel to see if it removes stains in one wash. Let the challenge begin. First, chocolate and juice. We will wash shirts with Ariel. Look, Ariel has cleaned in just one wash. So which detergent removes stains in one wash? Ariel. P&G Everyday Quality brand.
Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the many details as development unfolds.
I'm the voice of the Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that's honesty of INEC. Without
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on Core TV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.coretvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.
Core TV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, people's parliament from the national, state and local government assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you back. For more information on our news and other programs, you can visit us on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/CoreTVNews. You can also follow us on our Twitter handle at CoreTVNewsNG. As well as on YouTube at youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space and news. As the June 24th governorship election in Ekiti gradually draws near, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it is ready to conduct the poll. The people of Ekiti also spoke on their expectations for the day. Our Ekiti State correspondent Rashid filed in this report.
The Ekiti State governorship election billed for the 21st of June 2014 is no doubt the talk of the town, as all concerned in the poll, from political parties to the police and the electorate, are putting finishing touches to all the needed requirements. INEC says apart from the non-sensitive materials distributed across the state, it has commenced the training of presiding officers.
Today is the training for adult personnel, the corpers, that is the presiding officers, the assistant presiding officers too. We are starting their training today. It's a 3-day exercise. Wednesday, Thursday and Friday.
Noting the short time needed to get their permanent voter's card ready before the poll, agitated electorate frowns at the attitude of INEC officials in the card collection process.
When I got to this place, I saw that they said that they are doing meeting by this time of the day. Some people have been in this place around 8 o'clock, 8:30. Not attending to anybody, and now they are still doing it. The meeting should be around maybe when they close or anytime, sha. But now, some people even leave their working place to this place.
They're still coming despite the fact that they should have collected earlier on. But they are still coming and we are able to attend to them ever since.
For the people of Ekiti, the June 21st election holds more beyond the ordinary, despite the frequent spates of violence that have characterized most of the campaigns.
Now the condition now is tense. Between a week and a week to the election will be so turbulent. So this is the normal thing that will happen within this enlightened environment.
Like in every other state, this is a time that everything is heat up, and we expect, a little bit of hunger from everywhere. But we are praying to God that this election, any period, will be very, very peaceful, and everything will go smoothly, and that God will deliver it to the state. There
is, however, a strong belief that the election will be peaceful.
We believe in God, and we know that God knows the best, and that He's going to deliver Ekiti State to the best. I'm praying for Ekiti. Whoever is going to lead us to the promised land, that's whoever we hope that will be the governor.
You will see that there will be no problem at the grace of God. There will be no problem. If you go around, you will see that people are serious-minded. They mean business, and they will use their weapon. That is the vote.
Obviously, the people are clearly informed about the June 21st election and are set to fully participate. Rashid, Core TV News, Ado Ekiti.
Meanwhile, the preparations for the August 9, 2014 governorship poll in Osun State took the campaign train of the incumbent governor Rauf Aregbesola to Ila-Orogun, the country home of the interim national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Bisi Akande. Video Koro was there and filed in this report.
In furtherance of their campaign efforts ahead of the state's governorship election on August 9, the Osun APC's political train made a stop at Ila local government area of the state, a town of over 300,000 people who trooped to the street to catch a glimpse of the broom-waving governor and his supporters. On arrival in Ila-Orogun, Governor Rauf Aregbesola's first port of call was the palace of the Orogun Ile-Ila. Afterwards, he proceeded to the rally ground and the event started in earnest. In the course of the event, the national chairman of the APC, Bisi Akande, and the state commissioner for information and strategy, Sunday Akere, both highlighted the bond between the Osun APC and the Ila people.
This is a place where they have never done any other party in the last 30 years. There is no way, things can change.
We know that the people of these constituencies support Progressive Party, and we are going to vote for him 100%. we are going to return Ogbeni Abraham Aragbeshola in our 31 wards. And the assurance we are giving him is that he should be rest assured of our support.
The first civilian governor of Osun State, Senator Isiaka Adeleke, who only recently defected from the PDP to the APC, says his coming to the APC has increased the winning margin of the party.
Ordinarily, before I joined the APC, I would have said they will win, but not as expected. But with me now, they have increased the margin by 30%. I'm looking at about 80%.
The State Commissioner for Finance, Wale Boloruduro, says Osun State risks dwindling economic fortunes if the incumbent is now returned to office.
The challenge that we have now is if there is a change of government, the state may not be able to survive. Why? Because you may not have somebody who is very, very intelligent, who is very, very mindful, who is very, very stingy. He's very stingy even to himself.
A stalwart of the Osun APC, Peter Babalola, expresses confidence that the APC will emerge victorious in the August 9 election.
Seeing is believing. We can see ourselves what is happening. 15 days ago, Ife. 8 days ago, Irewole. Today, Ila. Maybe opposition may be fighting for the remaining 15%. 85% are already gone.
However, the state governor Rauf Aragbeshola used the event to comment on the recent APC police face-off in Ekiti State.
What happened in Ekiti is a sad commentary on the interest of Nigeria police force, particularly in Ekiti, to foster democracy.
As you can see, it is quite a crowd out here at Ila Stadium, Osun Central, where the Osun APC are having their third rally in the state. Now, as to whether this will translate to a win for the party in the forthcoming election in the state, we would have to wait till August 9 to find out. Beat Okoro, TV News, Osun.
Thank you, Beat. Away from southwest now to northern Nigeria, where the Kano state government has distributed 1,000 tricycles to people affected by the recent ban on commercial motorcycles in the city center. Local transport unions had asked for time to adjust to the ban, but the government has now provided alternatives for motorcyclists affected by the ban. Amina Nebi has more in this report presented from our studios.
The ban on commercial motorcyclists, otherwise known as Okada in the Kaduna metropolis, took effect from May 21st, and since then there had been complaints from residents. But now the government has now distributed 1,000 tricycles through the local transport union to affected motorcyclists.
This is in furtherance of our resolve to create job opportunities for our teeming unemployed youths and to improve the general well-being of our people. I'm happy to inform you that what we are witnessing today is just one out of our several information programs designed to provide palliatives to our people, especially those directly affected by the recent ban on activities of commercial motorcycles.
It also barred tricycles operators from other states from operating except they adopt Kaduna state colors. The Deputy Governor, who is also chairman of the SHOP Implementation Committee, Nuhu Bajoga, had earlier revealed that about 700 tricycles and a number of taxis were initially provided to cushion the ban.
Owner of Kaduna State and other invited guests to the flag-off of the distribution of tricycles purchased under the Kaduna State Subsidy Investment and Empowerment Program, SHOP. Let me, on behalf of the entire members of the Implementation Committee of the Kaduna State SHOP, express our profound gratitude to His Excellency the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, Alhaji Dr. Ramola Yero, the Latin Zazzau, for the unrelenting support he has over the years extended to the committee in his quest to equitably create wealth through job creation.
With His Excellency and the Government of Kaduna State to make sure that the government produces results that will transform for the betterment of Kaduna State. To the Union of Former Achava Business, I want to appreciate your concern and your patience, because during which the period of the ban, there was no negative reactions. Rather, the union was patient enough to wait for the appointed time, which is now that the state government is distributing tricycle as a replacement to the Okada business.
Aside from Kaduna Metropolis, transport unions in Zaria, Kafancha and Birnin Gwari also benefited from the gesture, which is a courtesy of Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program.
CBN seeks international collaboration to manage foreign bank subsidiaries in Nigeria. Details of these and other business stories with Sabena Izoko shortly after this break.
This one wash challenge will test Ariel to see if it removes stains in one wash. Let the challenge begin. First, chocolate and juice. We will wash shirts with Ariel. Look, Ariel has cleaned in just one wash. So which detergent removes stains in one wash? Ariel, P&G Everyday Quality Brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana. Please remain seated and ensure your seatbelts are fastened. You can now turn on your MTN mobile phone data to enjoy a browsing rate of 5 kobo per kilobyte with MTN One World. Thank you.
Absolutely. Browse like home with MTN One World. Surfing the web from any MTN operating country costs the same like home. Enjoy affordable rates when you call and send text messages. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. Everywhere you go.
Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the many details as development unfolds.
I'm the voice of the Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that's honesty of INEC. Without
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on Core TV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.coretvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.
Core TV News presents a platform with presence in over 30 states of the Federation. Be sure to be had. For live coverage of events, we have the capacity to deliver from anywhere in Nigeria and beyond. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733, 014-533-407.
A 24-hour news station.
Hello there, you're welcome to the world of business. I am Sabena Izoku. The Central Bank of Nigeria has sought a collaboration with the Institute for International Finance, RIAF, on the management of foreign bank subsidiaries. This will help prevent the banking crisis that may result from the cross-border expansion due to lack of management or adequate supervision of the foreign subsidiaries. According to the Deputy Governor, Sarah Alade, economic policy, the banking crisis and the Nigerian banking system exposed immense potentials, stability risk that could result from the cross-border expansion and underscores the need for effective cooperation between the host and parent country authorities for banks with international operations. The Minister of Petroleum Resources, Desiani Alison Madueke, the 12th member of the OPEC, Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, has agreed to renew its oil production ceiling of the 30 million barrels a day for the second half of the year. OPEC is satisfied with the oil prices around $110 a barrel for Brent crude, comfortably above its preferred price of $100 a barrel. to member countries, Libya and Iran, are producing well below capacity because of civil conflicts and sanctions, respectively, helping support prices. In its end meeting communique confirming the decision, OPEC also said the next meeting will take place on November 27th, and the Secretary General Abdullah Al-Badri term will be extended to the 30th of June 2015. Nigeria had nominated Oil Minister Diezani Alison Madueke to succeed long-serving incumbent Al-Badri as OPEC Secretary General. The African Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank shareholder, has reinvested $20.5 billion recommended by the Board of Directors as dividends into the equity of the bank. The decision, which was taken by the shareholders during the bank's 21st annual general meeting in Gabon, says the reinvestment will help to ensure Afreximbank comply with the minimum capital adequacy ratio targets of 20%, which it had set for itself. President of the bank, Jean-Louis Ekra, quoted by the statements as saying, the decision reflected the strong confidence the shareholders had in the management of the bank. According to Ekra, the total assets of the bank had jumped by 19% to $4.4 billion from $3.7 billion in 2012, with the shareholders' fund rising from $178 million in 1999 to $707 million in 2013. The AMCOM Chief Executive, Mustafa Chike Obi, during a press conference says Nigeria's financial system is solid and has returned to growth and profitability as a result of the intervention of the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCOM. This in spite of the fears by rating agency Standard & Poor's, S&P, that industry-wide non-performing loans, NPLs, may spike in about 2 years. Data from AMCOM shows that it spent 5.6 trillion naira on its mandate, giving banks more capacity to lend to the private sector. Standard & Poor's revised its outlook on its 5 rated Nigerian financial institutions, Access Bank, First Bank, Stanbic IBTC, GTB Bank, and Zenith Bank, to negative from stable in April 2014 due to its earlier revised outlook to the sovereign Nigeria to reflect heightened political and institutional risk. AMCOM plans to sell at least 2 of the 3 bridge banks, Enterprise and Mainstream Bank, by mid-September 2014, with at least 25 people and institutions that so far expressed interest in purchasing Mainstream Bank. The Naira closed broadly flat on Wednesday, recovering from early losses after news of dollar sales by the state-owned energy firm NNPC to banks filtered into the market. The Naira closed at 162.90 Naira to a dollar, later changed from its close of 162.85 the previous day. It hit a day's low of 163.45 Naira to a dollar on Wednesday before rebounding on the news that the NNPC has sold around $200 million to lenders towards the close of trading at 1300 GMT. The NNPC usually sells dollars to banks on a monthly basis and accounts for around 70% of total dollar volume traded on interbank market. And on the stock market report, trading closed today on Wednesday on a bullish note as the Nigerian Stock Exchange All Shares Index appreciated to 0.29% to close at 41,642.56 basis points. Market capitalization rose to 0.29% to close at 13.75 trillion naira. Investors exchanged 469 million ordinary shares worth 3.85 billion naira in 5,345 deals. Mobil PLC led the gainers chart, followed by Dangote Cement PLC, Oil PLC, UAC Property PLC, and Better Glass PLC respectively, while Nestle PLC topped the losers chart, table followed by Wapco PLC, Unilever PLC, Guinness PLC, Nigerian Brewers PLC. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. We have less than 24 hours for the Brazil World Cup coming up. That's on Sport News with Brownson Uwana. That's in a moment. Stay with us.
Very big thanks for joining us on Sport News tonight. I am Brownson Uwana. Former Secretary General of the Nigerian Football Federation, Bolaji Ojoba, has said the Super Eagles might be shown the exit door in the first round of the 2014 World Cup if they underrate their group opponents. Coach Stephen Keshi's men are pooled in Group F alongside Bosnia, Iran, Argentina of the 20th edition of the Quadral Global Football Showpiece. According to him, the 2-1 defeat of the Eagles to USA in the last Friday's match was a blessing for Keshi's side, as it will afford them the opportunity to correct their mistakes before taking Iran in their first game of the tournament. Meanwhile, Nigeria arrived Brazil on Wednesday morning and will play Iran in Group F's opening game on June 16th at the Arena da Bexanda in Cordoba. And away from that, Galatasaray have announced the departure of manager Roberto Mancini after just 9 months in charge of the job. The Turkish club said the 48-year-old Italian, who guided Manchester City to the Premier League title in 2011-2012, had departed by mutual consent. Mancini led Galatasaray to second place in their domestic league and the last 16th of the UEFA Champions League. In a statement, the club thanked Mancini for his effort and wished him happiness in his next mission. And now to the world of tennis, where 8 British players have been given single wild card for this month's Wimbledon Championship, joined by Andy Murray and Watson at All England's club. Defending single champions Murray and world number 96 Watson have both qualified automatically, while world number 80 Laura Robson will be absent through injury. British number 6 and rising star Kyle Edmund, a junior Wimbledon semi-finalist last year, will make his second appearance in the main draws. He will be joined by British number 2 to 5 Dan Evans, James Ward, Daniel Cogs, and Daniel Smithford. The news is encouraging for 4 years after only 2 British men players were involved in the main draws. And finally on Sport News tonight, to the NBA Finals, where San Antonio Spurs took a 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 NBA Finals with a 111-92 victory over Miami Heat. It was the first home loss of the playoffs for Heat, for whom LeBron James and Dwayne Wade both scored 22 points. Kyle Leonard scored a career-high 29 points for Spurs in a game they dominated from the start, hitting 19 of their first 21 shots, an NBA Finals record. Game 4 is in Miami on Thursday. And that's my final whistle on Sport News tonight. My name is Brownson Uwana, and Ifemi will be back with the rest of the story. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back from sports as we say go for gold Super Eagles of Nigeria. And now to top story making headline on the foreign scene as many as 500,000 Iraqis fled their homes as jihadis tighten their grip beyond the city of Mosul, vowing an even broader offensive. Members of the jihadist group also seized the Turkish consulate in Mosul and kidnapped the head of the diplomatic mission along with 24 staff. The jihadist surprise advance poses significant challenges for Baghdad, with a risk consultancy saying they would be boosted by cash from Mossul's banks, hardware from military bases, and hundreds of men they freed from prison. It also sparked a massive exodus of civilians, with families piling into cars that flooded security checkpoints outside the northern city, normally home to 2 million people. Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki has responded by asking Parliament to declare emergency rule and announced the citizens would be armed to fight them. And to end Core TV Primetime News, a recap of our major stories. We told you that the federal government has warned Nigerians to be more security conscious at football viewing centers ahead kickoff of the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. We also brought you a report that the Lagos state government has slashed school fees in troubled Lasso. And that's been the show tonight. On behalf of the entire production crew, I am Nifemi Oguntoye. It's goodbye.